Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Roll for Bluff, our talk show where we discuss our ongoing campaign, Bards and Nobles. I'm Sam, I play Calmine, the Tiefling Rogue, and to my far right, we have Tristan, who plays Soren Thunderfist, Goliath Barbarian. To my other right, we have Zeke, who plays Leon, another rogue. To my left, we have Bilal, who plays Bilal. And to my far left, we have Brandon, our wonderful Dungeon Master.
Hello.
And today's episode, we pretty much jumped feet first into combat with some Bugbears.
A raging rescue.
Which was fun. You want to talk about that? You had a nice shining moment there.
Oh yeah, that was right off the bat.
That was a lot of fun. So let's see. So the end of last episode and the beginning of this episode, we heard Bugbears kind of like far off around a corner, you could say. So me and Calamine instantly hid, and Bilal and Liren were just shining lights so we could see where we're going. I don't remember what you were doing.
I had raged in charge.
Okay, you raged in.
Bilal was using a special light, but yes.
Yeah. So
he's using moonbeam.
It's an angry flashlight.
Holy light.
Yeah.
So as my first action, I went to the first person, caught them off guard, and completely decimated them with one blow. And made them nearly headless Nick.
Because of your assassinate feature, which lets you...
No, because I'm awesome, obviously.
Yeah,
He
assassinate.
hit a critical hit.
I hit a critical.
So it
with like
is
8d4.
4d6 turned into 8d6.
Oh, 8d6.
Which then on the sneak attack alone, you did enough damage to kill him.
Yeah.
I think my sneak attack damage was well over 30 or something.
No, it was...
No, we stopped counting at 24.
Yeah,
I still had like 4 more dice to
he was
add.
dead.
And I didn't even add my
died
dice
at
damage. So that was like the best
You literally
moment.
scared him so bad he died.
That was the best moment. And then I quickly dashed away and hid in the darkness again, because,
I mean,
and then right after that was Sam's with a pretty good.
Yeah, I got pretty close. Just close enough. I mean, that made it easy for you to kind of finish the
right, because
off.
your arrow attack. Because you used this was one of the first times you used the acid arrow, right?
Right, I'd already had it knocked because I was anticipating Clockwork Beasts. So I was like, well, I'm not going to switch it out now. So
yeah, you took that down to like one last hit point.
Yeah.
And then you sneezed at it.
You know.
And then Soren looked at him and he died. So.
The static electricity off Soren was like...
intensity.
I just yell at him in rage.
Oh no.
The fight overall went pretty easy.
It went
I
smoothly.
think. We took pretty good care of him. You had that tough guy pretty close before.
Oh yeah,
managed to get away.
the shaman didn't know was resistant to fire. He probably had some sort of magic item on him. Sad because it got away.
Right.
We'll find out
Lost
sooner or
another
later.
magic item there.
Yeah.
Well, because if any of our sessions have taught us anything, we'll see him again.
Remind me about that, because I will say I totally thought he was going to come back later on when we were
he
no, I
probably
mean like
was
when
still
we were
good.
trying to
For all we know,
travel.
he's floating
Not
around
travel.
and Gash's sword like following.
But I thought he was
Last an
gonna.
hour.
I thought he was gonna find us like when we were trying to find.
Oh, Galdine.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we'll get to that.
I can let you know what he has. Well, what it caused him to be resistant. He had an enchanted totem of a salamander. Because there's the lore about the salamander being able to sit in fire.
It's a firemander.
No.
No, it's not Sue. Calm
It's
down.
just fire. It's just a salamander.
It's not
So he
Sue.
had a
It's
totem
not that Pokemon.
that made him resistant to fire.
I could use that.
You could, but you don't have it.
I could use.
Yeah,
it.
Well, and I mean, with the fight that we had, I mean, you alone were dealing with because it was what the moonbeam you had out.
Yeah, so Moonbeam, Shalea, and then Produce Flame. That did so. It was 3d10, 2d8, and then another d8. every
Right,
time.
and since you were so early in the initiative roll, you just sat there while these other things just sat there,
Slowly dying.
and just like
They were not tough. I'll let you from a DM standpoint. This was not meant to be like a...
I totally
This
thought it
was
was
like
going
our
to be.
easiest fight we've had in a good
This was
long
not
while.
meant to be like a, oh, this is going to be tough. This is meant to be like, there are things to teach you and allow you to know that you've grown strong. And certain things are easy mode.
I mean,
Right.
but anytime
That's the
we
first
do
one
that,
I've
that's
had.
the fights we have the most trouble with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we also when we hear that there's like 7 bugbears, we're like, oh no,
The
bugbears
thought
are
of it,
bad.
Well, and
The
it's
thought
like
of it.
it's kind of like I think I said to you after last session. It was we kind of got lucky getting the jump on them because bugbears have their own ability to kind of do sneak attack damage. So it was good that we had the surprise advantage and not the other way around. I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like bugbears are essentially rogue bears.
Yeah, like if you had a bugbear rogue, be like.
Yeah.
Next character.
I assume that these were characters instead of just the bugbear creature.
Yeah.
So I thought they all had levels.
Nah.
But yeah.
They're just dudes. Only one of them was.
Just guys being dudes.
And then that one got away.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the shaman, unfortunately,
champ.
was the only one that we didn't get.
He just turned into a gas and then just soaked himself
He went-
up to the
He
ceiling.
passed gas and then turned into it
Yeah.
and then floated.
And then floated up into the ceiling.
And then I think we took care of the last guy after that pretty quick.
Oh yeah, he died.
And then afterwards we had a lovely little gnome friend appear with a lovely little
Oh my god.
attachment.
That was so
He had
annoying.
a nice accessory.
And
Yes.
he reached out towards Soren and was like, "Help me!" And then turned
Soren
him into-
approached him.
He turned Soren into a turtle.
He said, "Friend or foe?"
Polymorph! Yay!
And then
I love how
instantly
mad
a
you guys were even
turtle.
just that I used the phrase friend or foe. You're like, really?
Well, no, it was the way you said it. Was something before you said friend or foe, and then you said friend
I
or
said
foe,
hello.
and it just rhymed like a
You
story.
went, hello, friend or foe.
Yeah, the way it was like the beat, the way you said
I
it,
guess
was
I
like,
didn't realize it rhymed.
is this
it
like a
from-
nursery rhyme to you?
I think we were all a little
dying.
shocked when Soren got turned into a turtle.
I wanted to burst out laughing.
I,
at the character.
I was like shook. I was like, wait, did that just happen to the biggest guy on our team right
I kind
now?
of wanted to leave him as a turtle for a hot minute.
I was curious if he was gonna stay.
I was like, it's like, because there's probably that thought, it's like, these people are going to bring me back to, like, Bob and go, look, it's Soren. He's a turtle.
No, we would have brought you to Bob and been like, "We found your child."
Oh, no.
Bob would have been like,
Not again.
I don't have any children.
That you know
That
of.
you know of.
First time for everything.
Must have been a pretty nice looking sea turtle.
And then he
Or a
went
rough night.
I'm just pants.
Hello there.
So I think after that, you tried to check it or
No,
comment check
you
it.
walked up first.
No, but you did like some type of.
So yeah, so I
detect
had,
magic.
I had Quinn go around to try and dispel.
Oh, but
Whatever
nothing-
it
Well,
was.
that's
yeah,
what,
nothing
that was
happened
where
to
we
you.
found out
Yeah.
what it was.
It was a spider, and there's two things I really don't like. It's clockworks and spiders.
Yeah, I hate spiders.
So I instantly wanted to kill a guy.
I hate spiders. Stop.
This is your first clockwork spider.
I thought it was funny
I hope we
because
never see
I
another.
kind of thought that.
I think it was going to do that, though.
No, I didn't think that's what.
So
it was
yeah,
gonna
I
do.
cautiously approached it to try to. I was like, bump it. I'm just gonna cut it off his neck.
And then he went blindness, deafness on you and the turtle.
Yeah.
So I was a
turtle
blind and
instantly
deaf
failed.
turtle.
So we both went blind to death. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a knee for a second.
If you would have said anything else, like I back up until I can't back up anymore, something else would have happened. But you were like,
what would
take,
I'm curious of what would have happened.
if you would have backed up,
Yeah.
you would have cast another spell on someone else.
So no,
So
I'm
it's
okay.
almost
then.
a good thing then.
Yeah, because it kind of made an opening.
Yeah. So the fact that then you immediately after you got taken over.
But that's
Like a
fine. So
chump.
yeah, I took a knee, and then the spider basically had.
Imagine if it would have taken you over.
What was this? What's
Oh,
it? It's a
that would've been
dwarf or
different.
It was a
gnome.
a gnome. So I had the gnome.
the spider
What-
detached from
Yeah.
the gnome.
And ran down the
Right on
gnome's
you,
hand
like,
and
you're gonna
attached
come
to
close.
me.
Level 4. That's
So after the spider attached to me, I instantly attacked Bilal.
And you got a critical.
Oh yeah, and I got a critical.
Right. And
I
you
don't
can
know.
see again.
Oh yeah, I could see, but I
what
couldn't
you were
control
doing.
my body.
And before that, you got the first critical. We should note that they learn what your weapon does. Your
Oh
special
yeah.
dice
So
show.
when I do get a critical, I take 5 points of yeah, I take 5 points of health basically from their
Yeah,
life
5
force.
temporary hits.
So I already had 5 temporary hits from the first attack,
Assassination.
the assassination, and then I attacked Bilal and got another crit, and that was another 5.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
that
great.
was really annoying.
Being on the receiving end.
It really didn't do anything, but it was like, why? Why me? What did I do to deserve this?
You didn't
It
help
would
me in
have
my
been
time
a
with
lot
me.
worse if you would have had somebody nearby and sneak attack critical. You would have like. Probably.
I probably was what I saw.
I think Brad would have got his health down over half.
Probably.
So at that point,
But
you
he
did
maged hand.
mage hand.
Yeah, and I nat 20'd. So I ripped that.
So
shit
he cast his mage hand and he carefully used the mage hand to slide of
Carefully?
hand and
Just
then
carefully.
It was not. It was rigged.
well
Hey,
get
so
the
careful as
legs
you
out
can.
of there and then take the
It
main
took-
body.
Yeah, and that's why I was grateful of the temporary hit points because I had a total of 10, and that was a 12 damage. So it only took 2 points of my health.
You're like, oh god.
I was like, oh god. Oh, but I forgot. I read the mind of the gnome
Yeah.
to see if I should just kill him or not.
You
And-
You know, Cal was actually thinking the same thing because Cal was like, "What if I just tried to do a precision shot with an acid arrow?" But then I was like,
If I miss.
yeah."
Did you since you were the only one who at the table who really knew of Sprout's existence,
Right.
did you think that was Sprout?
Or did you totally forget about him?
Because once we saw the wayward flag, that probably would have clued me off because he did tell me that he was an.
Yeah, well before then.
Well,
Were you
Tristan immediately shouted out, "Oh, it's Sprout." So
Well, not in game.
no, I mean, but like you did.
Oh, because we were part of. I was.
I mean,
at the table.
Before that, no.
so you were like, oh, this is
well,
just
I
some
mean,
gnome.
there could have been.
Yeah, I thought it was
you know,
something
Yeah,
about
like in
no.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but like when you said it was a half, I was like, it's gonna be Sprout, and you're like, maybe, like it's Sprout.
Maybe. Who knows? Might be Sprout. Might be Tarsp.
It might
I was
be,
gonna say
might be
that.
Sprig.
Yeah, it might be Sprig.
He's not important.
And see, I think that's why Soren went first, because just in case of it being someone who was just stuck down there or something. Because again, when we really heard a bag like
You
getting
got
up and
four
running
trigger happy
away,
people would be like, kill it!
yeah.
And
so
see,
that was why I think Soren's concern was like everyone was like, if I don't
Hold
figure
it
out
there.
if this guy is
Hold it.
actually an okay person,
Yeah.
the rest of his team is gonna murder him.
So
Are you
yeah.
friend or foe?
I mean,
Ah, crap.
I think like the whole thought process, at least like for me, was okay. This person just took our tank and turned him into a turtle.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
if the
polymorph.
clockwork has control of this person and we can't get the clockwork off of him, it's probably best to kill him. That was kind of what was
And me
going on
being
through
an
my
assassin
minds.
and my whole background, I was instantly just like, let's kill him.
But then detect thoughts and...
Okay, because I asked Shalik first, which is my curse mark of
Paylor.
Paylor.
Cleric of Paylor.
Yeah, Cleric of Paylor. And I asked her straight up, like, can I kill him?
Detect thoughts succeeded, and she was like, no. Don't, why?
Well, yeah, so she
He's just a
made
boy.
me detect thoughts. Like, fine, and that's why I tried to cut it off of him, but that backfired.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
That's
D&D.
It worked out in the end, though.
So
I mean,
eventually,
if it makes you feel any better, how I got the clockwork heart in the first place was helping remove it off of Lyran.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, if it makes you
I think
feel
it,
better at all.
it
both
could have been
rogues so
it could have
far
been
have
worse.
like, haha, I've helped. Oh, wait.
This is what we get when we help.
Obviously, rogues shouldn't help anymore.
Exactly. That's what I've learned from this. is
That's
that
what we
rogues
learned.
I
should
would
not
say
help.
I'd let him help, but we see what happens when he helps. He turns into a
help.
turtle.
He turned into a turtle.
So,
I mean, you're not wrong.
after you...
So she melted it down.
It's after it was pulled off and you stabbed an arrow, and then it melted through, and you're like, yay!
Get rid of this stupid thing.
Bilal healed everyone, and brought you and Sprout to consciousness. Which Sprout immediately was like, get away! And tried to use Gust to like push everyone so he could run.
To which everyone rolled really high.
Everyone was like,
Fortunately,
you poor
because
airbender.
my strength is garbage.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I rolled a nat 20 for that, so he was just like, ah! I'm like, bro.
I deal with storms all the time. That's when you learned who he was. His name was Sprout.
Amazing.
Very peppy.
Oh,
Yes, oh my
boy.
He's
gosh.
so...
Cal hates him.
Same.
I was already tired of him. Because I had the
The
headache
only person who
from...
wasn't tired of him was probably... I mean, you were angry.
I was grumpy after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, and we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so Sprout was definitely a very
Like-
peppy.
Well, hey there, everybody.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I'm Sprout. You guys want to be friends? Come on, adventurers.
Stop, please.
Yeah, and we're all just sitting here like, no, please, no.
I was just blind, deaf, and I was in pain and had a headache. I was like, just leave me alone. I don't
It's
wanna
not
go.
his fault.
Soren was like,
I know, but I was already... Well, actually...
Soren was like, bro, you
Awesome.
did me, you're a
if you didn't
turtle.
get caught
What
in the
heck?
first place.
And he was very surprised he could turn people into turtles.
By the way, the fact that he used polymorph instead of an attack made me not want to kill him instantly.
That's good.
If he had used an attack, I probably would have just smashed his face in.
And
I think that's why I asked first.
Yeah.
So after a while, they explored. They found all the creatures and all the clockwork and everything gone. From big things like the Manticore, or bigger things past that, to tiny dogs. Gone. Everything's gone. Even the clockwork. And that's when you found Goldine's sword.
His big old Buster Blade.
Yeah.
Love that sword.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it.
Yeah, that's a nice sword.
Yeah, because it's going away soon.
No, he's already gone. I'm giving it back to him.
You already took it out of his inventory?
Hmm?
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, at that point, that's when you were like...
That's right. That's when Soren got grumpy because his friend is missing. There's blood.
Goldie.
He wouldn't have left his sword. And Soren's like, my friend is gone.
Someone has to pay.
Even if it's the gnome.
Here's where we got really lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Because after that, I rolled really well on survival.
On the tracking.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we were trying to figure out. And then we went to a wall. And then we're like, we
And
can't get through the wall.
Who had the original idea that it was it Sprout that it may be phased through?
He thought it was a magical that left a residue, but not all magically. It's like Dimension Door. It goes, opens and then closes.
I wanted to check to see if
Yeah.
there was a residue.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
thought it was
there's
something like
nothing.
that.
I think it's gate
Then or
something.
Dimension
like that.
Door, where it's just door here, door there.
Yeah.
Sure, but there was like 20 fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Dimension Door stays open.
I think it was originally Sprout
As
that
long as someone's able to
said
cast
maybe
it
it's on. Maybe they just phased through the
It's
wall.
like one person per level.
Yeah, but you can. But I'm saying someone could have done it.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I said I think it was originally Sprout that said maybe they went through the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they cast a spell and went straight through.
Yeah, so we checked
Appreciate
the wall,
that.
and then we even like tried to beat the wall, but the wall was too strong, so we gave
The wall defeated
Stone
us.
has an AC of 17.
Ooh.
It was higher than that.
Fucking, they nerf everything up with buff fucking stone. What the hell? It's bullshit.
I mean, the reason why you broke in his office, one, because it wasn't true stone, two, you rolled really high.
Yeah. I rolled really high for those.
So
this is like base
after
stuff.
making your way through on a quickened pace outside around, Sprout broke off to go talk to Max and his superior, since this is his third week on the job.
I love
Oh
this.
boy!
Here's the new guy. There you go,
That
team.
attitude's gonna change like
yeah,
6
I can't wait
months
till we
in.
break him and he's just an alcoholic piece of shit like the rest of us.
Honestly,
How would you describe the party? Alcoholic pieces of shit.
Why would you do
I
that?
hate everyone. Let's all blame
So-
Kyle. What?
He's so nice.
It's disgusting.
We'll get there.
Everyone blames.
I
me.
love
We'll get there.
I love Sprout. I
Yeah.
worked really hard on Sprout.
He's entertaining.
I'm glad you're proud of Sprout, but we all hate him.
Yeah.
My character hates him. I don't hate him personally. My character doesn't. My
If
character
he's-
doesn't hate him. He's just
If
annoying.
he turns out to be useful, we might hate him a little less, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
All right.
I'm trying to be friendly in the first place.
So you guys made through your impressive survival. You tracked through the mud and through everything that it went north out of the town towards the coast, and you guys booked it for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you guys ran full speed for an hour and a half. If it would have been much longer, you guys would have been like, we're exhausted.
Stamina on.
But because you're all intrepid adventurers who knew what you were doing. And you got there and you found...
We saw a cart cresting the hill.
Cart on a hill. Leading.
Sent Quinn, and we saw a boat, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be there.
That's not a normal...
That's
Wait
not
a
a normal
minute.
thing.
There's a boat on the water?
What's a
What?
boat? There shouldn't be crafts on the
Say
water.
what's a boat?
So, you guys found that there were, from what you could see, 20 people on deck.
Including bugbears, hobgoblins.
Goblins, goblins.
Yeah, and we were like, we don't want to fight that.
That's a lot of people to fight.
So we decided to let the two non-so-stealthy people hang back, while the three more stealthy people went to go find Galdine.
Goldine.
Disclaimer: I'm not stealthy. I just have magic.
He has Pass Without Trace,
Which makes you stealthy.
helps.
You could be stealthy if you wild chipped into something small.
Yeah, but then that'd be a waste of wall shape.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're trying to
Depending
do.
on what you're trying to do, friend.
So you
In that
also
situation,
used locate person,
Creature.
creature.
Yeah.
We verified that yes, Galdine was in the cart.
Waiting so late was kind of a mistake. We could have just been like red herring real hard. He's not even in range, dude. Like that's just food. That's the
Yeah.
second bag of food.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was so concerned as we're chasing Evans and we saw the car. I was like, watch him have been gone already. Like, he's already on the boat.
That's what I thought.
That's why I was
happening.
like, we need to figure out he's in there first.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I have locate person or creature. So like, that's why I was like, if it was object, it's like, okay, let's make sure maybe it's his talisman's in there, something that you've seen before.
I have both. I
Right.
just chose to use creature.
Right. Well, because I know you had mentioned object before, which is why I was like, okay, he
You
can.
guys were one roll away from not being able to make it.
Yeah, but we did. We made it,
We
and
did.
we successfully stealthed our way up to the cart. We weren't spotted at all.
Picked
we
an
just
easy lock.
picked an easy
Oh, yeah, I
lock.
forgot.
You nat
Entered.
20 on that
We
lock.
found
that was
Gillian in
nothing.
one. What was he in? Like a giant
Like a
sack
burlap
or
sack.
something.
Yeah, there was two
and then there was
sacks.
another burlap sack, which we're like, oh, well,
Let's
maybe
check
there's
it.
some.
This is my
person
favorite
in
thing
here.
on D&D is just...
I half expected there to be a dead body. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
even
what I
gonna
expected
lie.
too.
I was happily surprised when there was food,
It's a clockwork.
And we stole it.
and we stole the food.
See, that's the nice thing, though. It's all about the suspense. All about that tension of like,
Oh no,
what's
whose body
in
is
this,
that?
what's
I
in
know. I
this.
was like, there's a body.
What's in the
Shit.
bag? What's in the bag?
So then after we grabbed some food, you wild shaped into a wolf.
A
Bear.
bear.
Yeah, bear.
I grabbed him and then I literally jumped out the back as a bear and I'm just
And then we all just ran.
To which you were spotted.
Which
Because they saw the cart go as a bear.
the bear comes out of there.
And everyone was like, that's not normal.
I left
Shoot
no
it.
trace down.
we
did.
left no
I
trace.
left
True,
no trace.
you left no trace. There were no footprints.
But they were just like,
they
oh,
heard
that's a
the
bear.
loud slaps in the mud. And just bear balls.
So they fired some arrows at you, which all stuck you in the butt.
In my back.
No, they were the butt.
They were in the butt. As a DM, I can say they were in your butt.
One was anal.
I'm not going regular.
No, not
No,
like
not
that. Like
that
on the
kind.
hind haunches of your
Oh,
the butt of a bear.
Your butt cheeks.
Yeah.
that did half of my bear health and damage, by the way.
I mean, have you ever
They
been
were
shot
4
in the butt?
arrows.
I can't say it's very close. Like, I don't think I've.
Yeah, you're lucky you did.
It's like
Lucky you did what you did when you did it. Because if you would have been any slower, they would have launched another volley, which would have probably taken you out of your.
We kept on going, and then fortunately,
So they booked it past us. We were like, go. Lyran and I stayed. I braced for any kind of attack. Lyran was getting ready for something. And I quickly was like, all right.
because it was storming.
It was storming, so it felt right. So I prayed to Thor real quick, pretty much going, "Hey, we're trying to protect your followers. We could, if you have anything to help, that'd be dope." And then out of nowhere, just lightning strikes.
The minor flame wall up. Even though it was wet, the flame still existed, which caused the cart to slow down. The horses in the cart to slow down just enough for Lyran to use Maximilian's Earthen's Grasp and just.
And it's like, so here comes horse and cart, right? And here comes giant possum paw. And the horse is just...
It slams on the horses, and then they had to make a strength check, and they failed it, so it crushed them. It did enough damage. It did like 15 damage.
So that is a total of
Three
what,
horses.
7 horses that we've killed in this campaign.
Oh, yeah, no, you've killed a lot because of the explosion and everything.
we've killed more.
Oh my god.
So-
Yeah, because there was a booby trapped
Yeah, it is
cart
about
at
a
one
dozen
point.
horses dead.
Yeah.
Man, barring the Stormbreakers, champions of the storm, haters of horses.
Hide your kids, hide your horses.
So there's not murder hobos, there's murder horses.
Yeah, we
You're
were
monsters.
When
I have
I
yet
was
to kill
young,
one.
A horse looked at me the wrong way, and I've been.
I've been
murdered since.
scarred by a horse ever
Lyran
since.
felt really bad about it. Lyran was like, it had to be done.
She
Yeah.
made jerky out of the other ones. That doesn't make any
It's
sense.
different. It wasn't
That
her
one
fault.
she
She didn't kill that one. Those were
She
from the
felt
explosion.
bad that she had to kill them.
She
Yeah.
broke a person over her knee. She
Well, that's
shattered a
fine.
motherfucker.
That's
Yeah.
that's a person, not a
Lyran
horse.
throws me off because I can't tell what type of person she is.
Nobody knows what kind of person Lyran is. That's the problem.
Everyone's like, Lyran's so kind-hearted, and then she shattered somebody. And it goes, oh, okay, that's just one time. Lyran's so kind-hearted, then kills 2 horses, and everyone's like, hold on.
Like, wait,
Pick a lane.
So
stay in
after
it.
they destroyed these poor innocent horses and stopped the cart, they also booked it after us.
And
we
arrows
all
were
just-
falling.
There was
Yeah.
a couple more volley of arrows, but none of them hit. And we eventually wound up making it back to the tavern. And upon entering, you shaped back into
And you guys
your
helped.
humanoid form.
You tried to carry, you're like, I got Galdane. You're like, ugh!
And we helped you
God,
carry
you're
him in.
hefty.
And then
Sad Goldine.
when we were walking through, I told the bartender that we weren't here if anybody asked, and Bilal kind of helped me out with that persuasion by giving him some
money. So it's like,
money.
all right, no one's in the room. And you're like, send food and water.
Well, no, because you also rolled really well.
Yeah, my persuasion was really good, but that definitely
Tipped
helped.
it over.
Yeah.
And you're like, send food and drink. And they're like, all right, I'll send food and drink to an empty room. And everyone was like, hey. And then someone was like, why would you send food to an empty room? And then everyone was like, you kidding me? And then someone was like,
We're not here.
Like,
so
oh, that's right. We're the empty room because we're not here.
That's when everyone was like, oh.
So then we managed to get him back to the room. So there's all of us and then an unconscious Goldine, and we get him on the table and we realize there's a clockwork heart
Oh no.
attached, very deeply attached.
And with a medicine check, we realized it was because someone had cut open his chest and then put the heart in.
And you tried twice to dispel the magic.
Yeah, so this is the strongest heart we've dealt with. I rolled a 21 the first time, and I miscounted the second time. I rolled a 22 the second time, which I knew still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
If 21 wasn't doing it.
That thing was, I still have inspiration points that I haven't spent, but I don't want to waste it on that.
If you would have done that, and you would have rolled a 22 and then rolled a 3, you would have done it.
Well, I don't want to, gamble.
Yeah.
Zeke's like, man,
So
D&D.
Well, no, I'm glad that we went through the route that we did, which you're about to explain, because I think that built a story for more coming up.
I actually agree with that. So then, Bilal, we couldn't
Fail.
dispel it. So then we kind of decided that we needed some help. So Bilal and Cal went to favorite place, Wesley's Wonder Emporium, to see if possibly Dalmine could help.
Wilson better.
To see if possibly Dalmine could help. We wound up waking her up. While we were doing that, the three of you kind of had, you guys and Liren kind of had your own special little bonding moment.
I'm seeing a theme here. Anytime I'm away, everybody has fun.
I mean,
Okay, so
to be fair, you do make them lick a rock that makes them no longer.
That everyone licks.
That's very true.
She
You
needs
take
to
away
get
our
done.
happy.
that Bilal makes us lick rocks.
It's not, the rock doesn't taste like anything because it purifies you, but still, you make them lick a rock.
That's because they're getting drunk at like 6 a.m. when we got shit.
That doesn't stop them from being like, okay.
Now, for the record, I don't think I've had to do that yet. Mainly because I tend to roll pretty well on
Yeah.
con saves.
It's almost like you're a Goliath barbarian.
Who drinks meat all the time.
And so during that moment, Liren, who I was playing Liren tonight because Hannah was unavailable, Liren making sure that Soren covered the exit, kind of interrogated Leon a little bit.
That really threw me off, because the last time I was helping Liren out, she was slightly,
inebriated.
Yeah, and she was much nicer, and she almost seemed kind of broken.
Yeah, nicer. Inebriated.
But still, it made
She is very broken, but
it made it seem more like she wants friends and people around her, and
Leon
she wants
doesn't
to
know her background.
I don't know anything about her. I don't really know anything about people,
and
anybody
that's a
except for
valid
Cal.
point.
And I know barely a little bit about him. But when it comes to Bilal and
No one knows anything
Liren,
about Bilal.
yeah, I don't know anything.
Not even Bilal knows about Bilal.
We didn't even know his race until
I know about Bilal. You know
2
about
sessions
Bilal.
ago.
Yeah, I don't think Bilal knows about Bilal. Oh, you just said that.
You don't know what Bilal is saying about Bilal knowing about Bilal.
Exactly.
Like a year ago? Nah.
Recently? Yeah. So you made an informal blood pact with Liren that you wouldn't betray the group.
Yeah, was she about to try to kill me or something? Because she really looked like she was about to kill me.
You'll never know.
Unless you
I mean,
betray her.
Unless you betray her.
No, I'm saying
And
in
then you'll
that
have
moment.
to deal with Storm Thunder.
Because you also promised me that you weren't going to betray the group.
I mean, I have no reason to betray the group.
Right.
Not yet.
But yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We don't have enough money.
So you had then she began to shape water, and started to
There's that spice he likes to throw so much.
shaped whiskey into. It started both start with W.
Whiskey, water.
Whiskey into Soren and Leon's mouth.
That was such a weird experience.
It's like the oddest ways of taking
Okay.
shots.
Goes down smoothly.
Well, it's almost like there's a weird like pun in there about like body shots. Because she's supposed
Body
to
shots. Hey, it's me. And partake of me.
That's
Ooh.
weird.
This is
I
my
am
body
one with
and
Lee.
my blood.
Like we're now
It's
one
a
with
little
Liren.
creepy there.
It's a little bit weird.
So you guys, everyone
Weird.
except for Soren got tipped. No, you two got tipped.
I got tipsy.
No, Liren was fine.
Liren was like, I don't feel anything.
Surprisingly.
I think she was drinking like for every shot we took, she was like, "Nope." Like she's like filtering it out through her side.
So that gave you a chance to talk to Dalmine.
Yeah, so he transformed into a wolf, and I rode on his back, which was weird, but we did it. And
I
we
want
ran
that
to the Wonder
experience.
Emporium.
Thank goodness of persuasion. The
Thank
guards
God
would, like, take him
my
out.
persuasion rolls were good tonight, because I was
You're
like,
not wrong.
Bilal just needed a night run.
You got
And
the
like,
zoomies.
oh, okay. Bilal's
Bilal's got the
zoomies.
He was like, "You guys are weird."
What
did
Kind of weird, but okay.
Oh yeah, kind of weird, but okay. That was funny.
I was trying to find the moon, man. It was like raining. I was in wolf form. I just felt it.
I think you can howl. The moon's just gonna be like, "Hello."
So we made it very quickly
Eventually.
to the Wonder Emporium, where we knocked on the door, and we kind of explained the situation to Dalmine.
He
Bilal
made
built
chairs.
Bilal built
Oh
some
my
chairs.
God.
I'm
I was
assuming
tired.
I thought it was because she had just said, "Don't steal anything" to me, and I took it as, "Cal, sit down because I know you can't resist stealing
I
things."
wanted to sit, so I made a chair for you, so you weren't standing and I
Okay,
wasn't sitting.
but you didn't communicate that. You just looked at me and then looked at the chair, and I'm like, "Fine, I guess."
So weird. And then you left the chairs there.
5 minutes
She
game
didn't want me to
time.
burn them.
She came down and she was like, "What? Why are there chairs here?"
And I
It's like,
said,
you guys
I
are such an
wanted to
impulsive
sit.
group. But you weren't sitting in it. You never said
I
you
said
sat.
that.
in
You
it.
sat down.
I never
But
heard
there
you
was-
say I sat.
It was 5 minutes.
Anyway,
That's 5 minutes of rest.
we managed to be able to get her to come back to the inn with us
walking.
to see what she could do to help. So we make it back, and she gets in there, and with, I'm assuming, some help from
Good old Zazers.
good old
Zazers.
Azazel, she
All
was
right,
able
you have to call them
to...
Zazers from now on.
Zazers.
Zazers?
Yeah, if he gives you a
That's
pet
what
name, that's
Zazers.
your pet name for him.
That's what she calls them.
Oh.
Azazel.
She says, "You okay calling Zazers?" And he's like, "Don't call me that in front of people."
But she was able to get the heart out, and once she got it out and set it down,
blew through 3
Cal-
acid arrows.
well, I didn't know, because I didn't know if anybody had, I didn't know if she had any acid available,
She's not.
but I wasn't going to wait around to let this heart try to do anything else.
Could have
So,
summoned a greater demon. That's one of the things you could have done.
I mean,
Yeah, that will go well.
Sure.
Demon smash.
Demon's
No,
like,
demon,
"Ooh."
like, demon, mine now.
yeah, I don't think that would have been
Summon a foe.
And I didn't know if you had your acid, I didn't know how many spells you had left.
None.
Yeah,
He had
so,
none.
so I just started pulling out arrows and just cranking them into that thing, and eventually it got to the point where, with all the pressure from the
And the
acid
holes.
burning through and the holes, where it kind of like exploded some necrotic energy. And who was it? It was me, Dalmine, and Liren.
The ladies.
We
True.
basically failed our
and Goldine.
and
Well, because he was unconscious.
He was
Yeah.
unconscious.
So-
we failed.
so we failed Constitution
Well,
checks.
Constitution checks.
And wound up exhausted.
With that second
and some
level 4.
damage, which we, wasn't as bad as I was expecting, honestly.
You took damage from it, but
We did take damage, but it still wasn't as bad as I was expecting. And then we pretty much decided to kind of go to bed for the night, more or less.
With the heart destroyed, Galdine in custody.
someone
alive.
being rude to her mother.
Someone being rude to her daughter.
And then you and Liren fighting.
That's true.
Yeah, Liren got really snarky with me.
That was entertaining.
She has her reasons.
Hey, but me and
I mean, I can explain them.
me,
since
me
it's-
and Thor.
None of this
Me,
can impact your
Me and
character.
Thor.
me and Soren were just sitting there as if we were like eating popcorn watching.
So the reason why Liren got mad about that is because to her, you have your mom. She wasn't there, but you have her. She's not, a pile of ash.
I know I said that, but like no one heard me.
So to Liren, for
See,
you to
how do
like,
you know
even
that?
though she wasn't there,
Or
she's
were
not
you
you,
saying
but
from
to
your
her
perspective? No, I'm
and
saying
her
that,
experience.
See, and I
At least you
get
have your
that,
mom.
but the
That's
flip
what I
side
said.
is I mean, it would, like, for Ken Cal's mind, like, if her mom was dead, she wouldn't be mad at her.
I agree with Cal.
No, I get that, but to Liren, who had the experience of her
But
family
her mother
being...
made a choice, like, to leave. You know, Cal's mother made a choice to leave.
I was
It wasn't like...
Liren's mother did not. Liren's mother did not.
No, Liren's mother did not have a choice.
I would like to die.
Yeah, I get that. And maybe one day...
Maybe one day
Go
we'll talk that
They'll
out.
talk
with
about
feelings
it.
and
Maybe
stuff,
one
but that
day-
is not this episode.
Maybe one day the entire crew will be like, okay, let's talk about everything going on, because right now we're kind of just like...
But we were not going to talk about it
My
in this
character's so
episode
lost.
because with Liren being exhausted and Cal being exhausted, I did not feel like that was going to go anywhere.
It didn't.
So.
That's one of the reasons why she was so angry. She was like, I'm tired now.
So we went to bed, and then overnight...
So I meditated, because I'm an elf, so I meditate. But in that meditation, I was trying to focus more so on my curse with Shalik. So I mean, you probably give a better
I
interpretation.
mean, give what you think and what you thought, and I can fill in the details.
So for me, it was as if if I'm playing my character, I was in and out of sleep, and like I would meditate, and then I'd rest, I'd meditate, and then at one point when I was meditating, you could say like I blacked out completely, and then woke up in almost like a dream world, and all I see is it was just like a small cottage or a small cabin,
Small cottage.
a small cottage off in the distance. And this is my first time ever being in like any type of dream realm or anywhere like that. So I approached the cottage very like cautiously, but I remember you saying it was very. The vibe I would get from it. It's very homey and almost reminded me of a similar home to my previous when I was a kid. So I approached it and was about to knock, but as soon as I knocked, the door opened, and when I opened it, what was the first thing she said? Because at first I was like, who is this person?
She's like, oh, hello, Leon.
And then that's when I was like, Shalik?
She's like, yeah.
Because I didn't ever know what she looked like. I never knew anything about her.
That's not my name, I'm going by the wrong name.
So yeah.
Like, oh, is it not?
So I found out she's a drow elf that has been basically serving for Palors, how you would put it.
Yeah,
serving
she was
for
a cleric of
Palor
Baylor for most of her life,
and then,
which is odd for a drow.
Yes.
Because drow
Are
dark and they don't do well with the sun.
yeah, which is interesting.
Because
So,
they're the
wouldn't
elves
ask
that live
questions, but I
pretty
didn't
much
know
underground exclusively.
It's interesting, but like you've changed enough things to where I couldn't say like, wow, that's kind of out of place.
It is out of place. I'll let you know. For this world, that is out of place.
Okay.
There's a reason
and that's
she
just the way the world works. I mean, you got
So I should ask that question.
people like my character wandering around the, when as far as this world goes, they're almost are exclusively in the Badlands, and you got like me wandering around doing my own thing. So I mean, imagine there's always gonna be outliers no matter what world you're in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you talked with her. She'd let you know that you'd killed 30 people unjustly and 70 people justly. Letting you know she's keeping a tally for you.
Hey, and then I was like, I've been doing pretty well considering, because obviously the repercussions of killing unjustly is not worth it.
Oh, my brain.
She's gonna hurt
Yeah,
you.
so if I ever kill someone that she deems like not worthy of me killing, or is a good person, I get it with like the worst migraine of life. For like how long? For that, I think it's 4 hours.
Yeah, that was the max.
Yeah, for 4 hours.
Of
She
just
hurt
pain.
your brain.
And
I get real migraines in life, and I can only. I hate migraines, so.
So you also learned that she wants you to walk more in the light.
So yeah, my question was, because for my character, he's very much raised in kind of a dark past, but being around this kind of interesting and entertaining group, he wants to see what it's like being around people more. Well, he's already stuck with them, but he's used to being alone, so he wants to see what it's like being. Almost, I would say the term friends. He doesn't know what that term means, so he wants to create that, and he wants to see basically what will play out. So he asked Shalik, how can I be more for Shalik, and how can I be more for this group? And that's when she said, if I basically open up more, and I just...
Walk in the path of the sun and the light.
Yeah, and walk out of the shadows. And not in the terms of stop being an assassin, but assassinate the ones who are deserving of it, but be more open to the group.
Those dang CEOs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty surprised that you tried to communicate with the mark. I figured you would want to suppress it since it's basically a thing that's telling you how to live your life.
Well, I think
considering the results of it.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be the deterrent. It's like,
and
do I deal with the thing that keeps giving me these migraines?
Yeah, that was the option I had when he said that because he also told me that Shalik was on my master's hand since birth. My master learned how to suppress it. But my thing was on that, if I even ask that question, I know something bad's going to happen. Either something bad or like there's just going to be a bad repercussions. Like, I'm not even going to investigate that.
I mean, it's not necessarily saying that your character wants to be a bad person. It's just like from you've grown up alone, basically, a lot of independence, and suddenly there's this thing that's saying, okay, so this is how you're going to live your life now. I'd be like, fuck you.
But no, there's also the sense of like, because my family was taken away from me, you could almost feel it as this is almost a mother figure in a sense, like someone's kind of looking out for you.
It's like your mom going like, don't do that. Don't pull your sister's hair.
Yeah, because I'm a 17-year-old brat. I'm like, I'll do what I want.
Well, I mean, there's also just the aspect of even just learning more about it, like communicating with it, to figure out why his master would even suppress it in the first place.
But I also forgot, you guys weren't there for my one shot when I did go against her one time, and it did not end well. And I will not do that.
About that.
So I just remember it went really bad.
The long and short of it, he did, and she was like, "How dare you curse me?"
And she basically, it wasn't her that was talking anymore. It was like my master and like dark force. It was
scary.
It was like
it was scary.
It was Satan, and it was not good. And then my migraine made me like buckle, and like I couldn't move. So I'm not going against that. It's like, no, I'm going to embrace it. So
too strong.
Yeah. So I chose to embrace Shalik and kind of open up. And so when I came out of that, I guess like as a physical form of doing that, usually like wear a hood and a face mask, I decided to finally kind of take off my hood and take off my mask and kind of reveal the mark. But when I did that, it used to be like up to here, so my forearm, half my forearm, and then now it was all the way up to my shoulder.
There's cracks in your arm.
Yeah.
Jocking my steez with celestial tattoos. Fuck you.
I'm doper.
We were very tattooed.
I have two different types of tattoos.
Yeah. So I have two different styles. I have tribal and Nordic.
They're completely different, though.
Yours
is literally
one is
the
temporary,
moon.
hopefully.
One is the moon. One is the like a worship, like a follower of the court of the sun.
Celestial, fuck you.
Oh boy.
I mean, my arm glows, so
my entire body radiates
when he wants.
But doesn't glow.
He can be a flying bear, though.
Yeah.
I know.
I can be Sparky Boom Man.
Sparky Boom Man.
I assassinated with one hand.
I can get really drunk.
There.
Oh, my nosy.
Everyone drinks now in our group.
So after that, you woke up in the morning. Cal.
Yeah, and I decided I wanted to talk to my mother.
I was so proud of you. I was so proud of Cal.
Honestly, I was getting sort of sick of the whole situation, so I just kind of wanted to talk to her and just sort of, in my own sort of really horrible communication way, just sort of be like, look, you need to understand that, like, this is, like, I'm not just going to forgive you. I'm not just going to be able to just let this go, like, more or less.
I think that part was kind of, like, almost... I want to say like almost a realist part of this like today's one of the moments because it felt very like what's the word? Not intentional.
Adult.
Not adult, but just very. If like you could almost feel a connection in that storyline, like you can see between both characters, like
there are themes and plot.
You can feel the empathy. You can empathize with the situation.
Yeah, I can empathize with the situation. I could see like. You could kind of feel that emotion between.
You were invested in the story.
Yeah.
I found out your mother was severing the tie with Titavilus to your journal.
With the help of Azazel.
With Zazers!
Who, by the way, was a combination of very funny and sleazy. A little sleazy.
Would you expect anything else?
Nope. It was perfect.
I did my research.
It was perfect.
Now, that's where we also found out that Titavilus isn't the only one connected
so
to the journal.
to Cal's surprise, the journal actually has 4 connections.
To put it in perspective, through some sick Azazel shades, pretty much. You gotta see 4.
Yeah, so there was 4 different tethers to which Dalmine explained to Cal that red was Titavilus. They had surmised that white was probably Fox.
I knew it.
Which threw me for a loop because I didn't even consider that Fox could be connected to the journal.
He
Oh,
gave you your
finds
journal
a
back
way.
once.
Oh, that's true. He did. I didn't even think about that.
I had this all figured out.
And then yellow was Azazel, but I kind of figured that out. And then black, they didn't really know. So there's the unknown aspect there.
There's that
It's
crack
Yanku.
fucker. The crack dude in the mirror.
Oh, Mephistopheles?
Was that Mephistopheles?
Was that-
Yeah, in the mirror was Mephistopheles, and then you've seen Mephistopheles twice. You've heard of Mephistopheles twice, and once, and you've dealt with Yangu more though.
Yeah.
So it could be him.
Yeah.
Could be
Well, I mean, there's
A bunch
a
of
couple
demons.
possibilities.
A bunch of demons and devils.
I think.
It's someone else entirely.
It's a guy named Phil.
It's just some guy named Stan. He runs like an apple orchard. I don't know.
Man, I have this weird journal.
Yeah.
I just put pictures of apples on it.
But they
Sometimes it gives me faces.
basically were
I
working
don't like
on
faces.
severing the tie between Titavillis and the journal, and Cal kind of opted to help them.
Which cut the time down.
Yeah, which cut the time down.
And then after that, Liren came in
Liren wound up coming on.
and apologized for being so rude. And also asked to help because they both speak Infernal.
Yeah.
So it cut down the time even more. And so for the next 3 hours in the game next session, they'll be busy.
Yep.
And then you three and Galdine talk to him.
Well, first we
Wait,
had to go
yeah.
downstairs.
No, before that, Goldine woke up. He was like, I feel like shit. So he,
You look like shit. You're shit. You're shit.
so we basically
Yeah, there's that whole exchange.
That conversation was
we
entertaining.
pushed him down a little and gave him food, and then he passed out. And I'm like, oh, you came up with the idea.
Yeah, because like I wonder if the bartender.
The bartender can give him something special, and boy did he.
Yeah, give something to help with the exhaustion.
I'm gonna probably ask like a bad question. What's in that drink, by the way? Do you know any sort of
It's a bartender
specific
secret.
list, or is it like an old?
The general gist is
Is it like a
anything-
kitchen sink?
Pretty much, except for the only difference is it has a magical ingredient in it.
An actual sink.
It has fairy dust in it.
So crack.
But it doesn't make, because all the other shit that's in it, the fairy dust is literally like the magic component that makes it all activate. That's why it costs 10 gold per pop.
We didn't pay.
Yeah, this time. He saw what you did last night. He saw you carry a body upstairs. He knew who the body was. He wasn't going to ask questions. These guys will kill me.
He's right.
Well, I mean, because this is the same bartender that Soren made almost essentially wet his pants out of fear
Yeah.
at one point.
You've been nice and mean to this guy so many times. He's like, I'm not going to fight it anymore.
And
He's getting whiplash.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
seen so many different things with this.
Yeah,
group.
he's like, whatever. If they want something, I'm just going to be nice. Hopefully they don't yell at me again.
Yeah, because you weren't there for that, Zeke. Because at one point, stuff was stolen from us, and one of which was Soren's Thor's hammer pendant. And we're all asking the bartender, like, who was in here last night? Who was it? And he's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? And then Sword comes downstairs. And he's like, what do you want, big man? And Sword just turns. He's like, he's like, oh, no.
So
Like,
yeah,
I
that guy
rolled
just gave up. So that helped take exhaustion off of Galdine because he stomached it.
Yes.
I tried it. I almost threw up.
Just put your tongue in it.
So he was able to get up and go downstairs and eat food and hang out and drink with you guys while he rested up. And that's where you talked to Baba again.
Baba,
How's the morning to you?
Because we missed his concert, so we decided
I'll
to
never
at least
forget
share
that.
stories.
Baba will remember this.
I was saving people.
That's why he was sleeping in so late. He was up all night crying.
Story of my life.
It's like he saved seats in the front row and had like little name tags, and then they
But
just
no
didn't
one
show
showed
up.
up.
For mom and dad.
If only I had parents.
You guys were talking to him, and that's when Bilal and
Leon.
Bilal and Leon. That's right.
Yeah.
They were heading out
We're
to
gonna
the
head
law
to the
masters.
lawmaster's office
Yeah.
to do what he didn't really say, and we're gonna leave it at that. What you're gonna do for the next session, and that pretty much kept up. Liren, Calmine, Downmine, all in a room, disconnecting a journal.
With the little tiny Azazel.
Sorn, Galdine, and Baba hanging out in the tavern in the mid morning, and Leon and Bilal finally get some alone time to go talk to
Hey,
Lawmaster.
maybe you guys can have fun.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, and that's like the point because Zeke brought up something while because there was the exchange between Sorn and Galdine when Galdine was first waking up. Us as a group, we're not really friendly. We're not really friends. We're just stuck together. So this was the first interaction that
Leon
and even you necessarily have seen two characters really interact as friends.
Yeah.
Whereas Sorn and Galdine are pretty good friends at this point. And so you just see it's like, so that's what friendship looks like.
Literally, that was perfect timing because probably 30 minutes or an hour before that, I had just came out of my trance.
Right.
And I was just pondering that, and then you guys had your bonding moment. I was like,
You're like, there is sunshine here.
Friends do exist.
That's what it's like. It looks like fun. I want to try that.
When you get your chance. Next session with Bilal.
Yep.
Yeah, my baby doesn't make friends with anyone.
So
Bilal buys his friends.
So
like, here's some money.
we will be continuing the story on our next stream, which will be next Friday. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow.
And we will see you guys again on Roll for Bluff next Thursday.
So, thank you guys for sticking with us and keeping up to date.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. As usual, follow, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud. We got the whole deal going on right now.
Smash that like button.
I like it.
If there's anything you dislike, let us know by hitting that like button and then
leaving a comment.
Nice comment.
Letting us know kindly.
Constructive criticism
Is always nice.
This is YouTube.
Unless you're chaotic evil, and then we can't stop you. Yeah. But until next time,
keep on rolling, baby.
Hit that bell.
Oh yeah, hit that bell.
All right, have a good night, you guys.
Buenas noches.